Hey friend, welcome to this video. My name is Femke and I am a product designer based in Amsterdam. And today in this video, I want to talk a little bit about project retrospectives. A project retrospective is when you come together as a team and reflect on how a project went. Typically this happens at the end of a project after you've shipped everything and it's all gone live, but sometimes it's good to have them halfway through as well if you're noticing there might be a bit of team conflict or things that could be quick wins to improve. Now it's really easy at the end of a project to move straight on to the next project, but it's really important to take the time to pause and reflect on how a project went. And this is a great time to identify any opportunities or any learnings that you want to take on to your next project. Project retros are typically done with the team and people that were involved in the project that you worked on. This could be a combination of engineers, product managers, data scientists, and of course design. And typically you want to try and get these people together in a room so that you can have the discussion in person. I like to give about 60 minutes for a project retro because there's usually quite a few people involved and you want to give everybody an equal opportunity to give their feedback. And often what happens is that quite a lot of discussion comes up as well. And you don't want to end up in a situation where you have to cut the discussion short because you're running out of time. Let's talk about the setup for a second. There's a few things you're going to need in order to run your project retro. The first is Post-it notes. I like to use two different color Post-it notes, and I'll talk about that in a second. The second is Sharpies, of course, to write. Time timer is also really good for helping keep people on time, and you might also want to have some voting dots. Now, a project retro can be run by anyone on the team. I've run a couple in the past, but sometimes it's also helpful to have a facilitator come in and actually facilitate the retro. And a facilitator is usually someone that hasn't been involved in the project. And sometimes it's helpful in these kind of meetings to have someone facilitating the meeting who's not personally involved and kind of has a non-bias point of view. So they can really help move the meeting along and help cut conversations short if they start to get too long. Regardless, assign someone to run and be responsible for the meeting because this person's going to need to do the setup, book the room, and probably also take notes throughout the session as well. Okay, you've got everyone in the room and you're ready to start your project retro. Hand out the Post-it notes, and like I said, you should have two different colors. Let's say you have green and yellow. Now, the reason that I like to have two different colors is that one color is going to represent the things that went well, and the other color is going to represent the things that could have gone better. And I like to assign colors to these two questions because once you see everybody's response, you can identify which ones are for things that went well and which ones are for things that could be improved upon. Start with the positive. So the first question you want to ask everybody is, what went well throughout this project? So here in this first question, you want to think about the things that went well throughout the project and also consider what are the things that we should keep doing. And now you might want to give everyone about 10 minutes to write down their response to this on the Post-its. It should be one comment per Post-it, and the reason I like to use Post-its for this is because it gives a kind of level and equal playing field. There's always going to be the people in the room who have louder voices and have quiet voices, and with Post-it notes, everyone has equal opportunity to voice their opinion and get their thoughts down. Once everyone's finished writing them down, have a sort of light discussion and get people to stick up their Post-its onto a whiteboard or a wall. And as you start doing this, you'll start to hopefully see some common themes or ideas. So what I typically do is I'll cluster them together so you can easily see visually which things sort of a lot of people agreed with went really well. The second question that you want everyone to answer is, what could be improved? And here's an opportunity to write down things that maybe didn't go very well, or things that you should stop doing, or any frustrations that you had throughout the project. Again, I'd give about 10 minutes for this. And I'd also remind everyone that this should be at a team level. What are the things that didn't go well as a team, and what should we stop doing as a team? Maybe you did too many stand-ups, or maybe you didn't do enough stand-ups. Think really from a team level about what were the mishaps along the way and what are the opportunities of where you think you really could have done something differently. Again, once everyone's finished writing these, stick them up on the wall and start to cluster them into common themes and ideas. So now you should see two different colored groups of Post-it notes on the wall. On one side, you'll see things that went really well and that you should keep doing to keep improving the team. And on the other side, you'll see things that perhaps didn't go very well and things you should do to maybe change next time to help make the project go more smoothly. Now that you have common clusters of themes and ideas, both for things that went well and things that didn't go well, it's a good time to have a group discussion. There's no rule as to how long this discussion should be, but you want to make sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to voice their opinion and get their thoughts and ideas out. One thing that I like to do here is now give everybody 3 voting dots. And then I give people about 2 to 5 minutes to put the voting dots on the top 3 things that they think we should focus on and take away as an action item for the team. The voting dots help give a good indication as to what the team cares about the most. At this point in the retro, you might be running out of time, but if you still have quite a bit of time left, then I really recommend doing how might we exercises. So what you want to do is you want to give everyone some new post-it notes, and you want people to think about the ideas that have common clusters or lots of votes on it, and ask, how might we come up with a solution for this? And you don't need to go too in-depth or too detailed here. It's really just a quick exercise to get everyone's collective thoughts and thinking about how we might solve these particular problems that we've been experiencing in this project. It's all good and well to come together as a team and have this feedback session and discussion about what went well and what didn't, but it's kind of pointless if you're not going to do anything with the feedback. So as a team, you want to come up with some action items and takeaways for what to do next. And typically, you want to assign certain action items and takeaways to the relevant members of the team. For example, if there is a comment around design and some thoughts and solutions around how we can improve that next time, I'll take that on as an action item as I'm the designer on the team. Now, you can't assign action items for everything because there's probably going to be a lot of feedback. So be realistic on what the action items and takeaways are, and I do recommend just focusing on the common clusters or the ideas that have a lot of votes on them, as these are probably the core themes that need improvement or attention. If you got a chance to do the How Might We Solutions exercise, gather them and give them to the person who's assigned for a particular action item on a topic that was discussed, because this is going to be really helpful for that person when they come up with how they're going to solve and move forward this discussion. So that's pretty much how you run project retros. I've also participated in retros at more of a team level. So recently I was participating in a retro that was about the design team that I'm a part of and what's going well as a team, what's not going well, and things that we can improve upon. So they're good for projects, but they're also good if you just want to take the time to reflect and give some feedback about your team. Remember, it's not personal. This is not an opportunity for you to give personal feedback about people. You really want to keep it at a team level. And it's also really important that you begin with the positives, which I know can be really hard. You probably already have some gripes or things that you know are super obvious that didn't go well while you were working with these people, and I know you probably really want to get them out. But trust me, start with the positive things, as it will give a positive light and a positive vibe to the meeting and the room. Thank you for watching. If you run project retros differently at your work, then please do let me know in the comments, because I'd love to hear from you about how you do it in your workplace and get some ideas for how I could improve the process that I do. Okay, I will see you in another video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.